Another live CSEC math class. Tonight we're going to be doing consumer arithmetic and we're going to be focusing on sales, taxes, and discounts. Before we go into that, here's our schedule of live classes. Hello CSEC math students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now in this series we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything, make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars, did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand. All right, scholars. So we have been doing a number of consumer arithmetic videos. We looked at hire purchase, we looked at simple interest, we looked at compound interest, profits and loss. If you need to get a refresher on any of those topics and the other consumer arithmetic topics, just go on over to our channel and you can check the playlist, check the CSEC playlist, as well as just type in the topic that you're looking for and you will see all those videos. We have at present 430 something videos and we're adding every day to that number. So whatever you're seeking, you shall find on the Kemet Masai Academy channel. I want to say good night to all those who are joining us from YouTube, from Facebook, from Twitter. Welcome to all those in the chat. Please post your answers and if you have any questions. I also want to welcome my scholars in studio. I have Imani and John so far. Good night and welcome. All right, so so we're going to be looking at consumer arithmetic. All right, so I want you to excuse me for 1 second. All right, so let me share the screen now. All right, welcome, Asar. Good night.
Yeah, miss.
All right, before I share the screen, let's just talk a little bit about sales taxes and discounts. What is a discount? You guys tell me what you understand a discount to be.
Because discount is when you get less money. This is when you get
Less money than you were supposed to originally pay
a lower
on
price.
something.
When you get
When you
less money,
when you get to pay less money than you would have to pay
For the
for the
actual
actual thing or the actual amount, it's less than the original cost.
okay. So the thing costs a certain amount and you end up paying less
Less
for it.
money. Less money.
So what are some reasons that you would get a discount?
Miss, if they're having like a sale, like a what do you call the type of sale? Like they're trying to get the things out of the supermarket to stock up on the new things, or
Mm-hmm.
if the thing is not in as much as good shape as something else.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you're saying if they want to bring in new stock, so it's a clearance sale. So they're having a clearance sale to get rid of the old stock and bring in new goods. They might offer discounted prices. Or you also said if something has happened to the goods, whether they are damaged in some way or they're no longer in style or they've just been in the store too long, and nobody really there's no demand for them and so they want to get rid of them. Get them off their hands, right? So all of those reasons, as well as you might have people somebody come in the store and say, hey, listen, I really want this thing and I don't have enough money. I really don't have enough. Can you give me a discount? Yeah, persons who go into stores and ask for discounts, as well as the store might say, listen, these goods are at a discounted price. Some persons, some categories of people might get discounts. If you have a disability, you might get a discount. If you are a senior citizen, you might get a discount at some stores. If you're a certain profession, so depending on what it is, the store might say, okay, we're giving discounts to civil servants, that's persons who work for the government. We're giving discounts to police officers, to teachers, that kind of thing, to nurses, right? So whatever the reason that you end up getting a discount, the idea is you're going to end up paying less for the goods. And it's not just goods, it might be services, goods and or services. All right. And the discount is usually calculated as a percentage of the marked price. Usually. So they might say, okay, if you're getting a 5% discount, so if the original cost of the goods or the service was $10, you're getting a 5% discount. So you'd find 5% off the $10, right? And subtract that from the $10 and you would end up paying. That's the amount of money you would end up paying. So it's not when you find the 5% of $10, that's not what you're going to pay. That's the discount that's going to be subtracted from the cost, and then you would pay that. Or what you could do is take 5 from the 100. So 95% is what you would pay, and you can just go straight and find 95% of the money. All right, so that's discount. Tell me what you understand to be a tax, a sales tax.
Miss, a sales tax is like the percentage added on to your complete amount,
Yes.
Mhm.
like government consumption tax.
Some is it's practically
General consumption tax.
General, sorry,
yeah,
consumption.
this is like you have to pay up by money and how much money. the actual
All
item.
right. So the tax is kind of like opposite of the discount then.
Yes.
Yes, miss.
So in the discount, you pay less than the original price, and with the tax, you end up paying more than the marked price.
Yes, miss.
And you have to be very careful because you might go into the store or into the supermarket, and well, sometimes they'll add the tax already, and you'll see tax included. So they have already marked up the price with the tax. But sometimes they don't, they just say plus tax. In our case in Jamaica, it's a general consumption tax. In other Caribbean countries, it might be the just a value added tax, right? Whatever the tax is. So you might go into the store and see a price for $30 plus tax. If you just have the $30, you're not going to be able to buy it. When you get to the cashier and that tax is added on, it's going to be more than the $30. So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight, right? How to work out tax and discount. Now, what do you think, where the tax come from? Who puts on the tax and why?
This, I'm guessing, the government.
But why? Why do we have to pay extra? What do you think?
Miss, because the government has to get paid as well. I get it. I'm not sure.
Okay. So there are different types of taxes and duties and so on that the government collects, right? So we're really focusing on sales tax or consumption tax here, right? So what happens is the government collects this tax from the consumer, and we're all consumers. We make use of goods and services. The government collects this money to go towards taking care of the people of the country, providing services and paying government workers, including the government itself, providing health services, education, security services, and just fixing up the roads, collecting garbage, making the environment, the public environment, a clean, healthy, beautiful, and conducive place. Right. So what happens is the retail owners, the retailers, persons who own stores, supermarkets, and so on, they collect the tax from the consumer on behalf of the government, and then they give it to the government, right? So it's a tax. The tax is levied on the retail sale of goods and services, and then the retailer collects the tax on behalf of the government and gives it over. So it's a percentage of the the price that you see. Certain goods are exempt from taxation, usually those necessities. Certain personal items, certain basic items are exempt from taxation. All right, so let's go into it. So I'm going to share the screen so we can do some actual calculations. All right. Let me check that you're seeing the screen. Okay. All right. So these retail outlets, they're often referred to as points of sale outlets. So there's anywhere you really that you go to buy something or pay for a service, point of sale. And you need to check and make sure and ask if the tax is included or if it's going to be calculated at the point of at the cashier. So let's say So we're doing two things at the same time. We're doing the discount and we're doing the tax. And the reason I decided to do that is they're simple concepts and they are like opposites to each other. So I want you to learn them together so you can see the difference between them. Right. So let's say we're going to call it, we're going to use the GCT. What we're going to say is 10%, just for ease of calculation, right? And it was at one point 10%, I think. So the general consumption tax, 10%, for the sake of this presentation. So this is the tax that is levied on goods. So you go into the supermarket and let's say you buy 3 packs of biscuits and it's $6 each, and you buy 3 boxes or cartons or whatever of juice, and that's $8.50 each, right? So how much would you end up paying for these goods? So remember, they are taxable. So how would we work out? How much would we end up paying? So it's 3 packs of biscuits, $6. Who wants to explain?
Mr. Explain, please.
Sure, John, go ahead.
Miss we first multiply the 3 pack. Oh, 3 packs. Okay. Alright, Miss. Just okay. This is made a 10/100 times the 600. Because we remove the cents. Just the
So,
decimal.
okay, so you're going to work, so you prefer to work the tax on each one first.
Yes.
So you're saying 10% of the $6, and that's how much?
Miss that be 60.
60 cents, right?
Yes.
Six. All right. What next?
Miss we then add it to the amount of money to the partners.
Hmm?
Oh, miss that's the discount. No.
That's a tax on
Yes.
each
Okay.
pack of biscuits.
Okay, Miss Wade, add it to Miss Wade, add it
Added to
to
the $6.
yes, Miss Wade, add it.
Uh-huh.
Miss Wade, I will get $6.06.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's it. And Miss for the next one, it'd be 10/100 times $8.50.
Mm-hmm. Which is
Miss that's 11. Oh wait, Miss $8. It's okay.
that's what?
Oh, sorry, Miss. Okay, Miss.
Huh?
It's $8.05. $8.05.
Are you sure?
It's because it
Ten
will.
percent of $8.50 is $8.05.
Um, wouldn't that be 0.85?
That's 85 cents.
Yeah. Yeah, because 10 into 100, 1/10, and 10 into 8.5.
All right. So what next?
Miss would add it to the $850. So $8 and 50 cents.
$8.50.
Miss 5 cents. That was 5 cents.
Okay.
Okay, and that would be $9.35.
Okay.
Because I know we're going to find the discount.
Find the what?
Miss discount. Discount.
Now you're gonna find the discount.
Yes, miss. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, there. Because I thought we were doing the tax and the discount at the same time.
There's no discount. You're paying 10% tax here.
Okay.
There's no discount in this question. I want to know how much money you're going to pay in all for these items.
This all together?
Yeah.
Okay. So the $9 plus $6.06.
Are you sure you're not leaving out something, John?
Yes, miss.
Are you sure? Imani,
Yes, miss.
is he leaving out something? Asar, is he leaving out something?
Missed it.
So you're saying all you have left to do is to add the $6.60 to the $9.35?
Miss, isn't that for? Miss, wouldn't it be? It wouldn't be enough for the 6 boxes itself, or six?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
The 3 packs are for $6
Each.
each. Yeah. So that's what I was saying, Miss. That you'd have to multiply it by 3,
You said it
but
was
by each have to buy
see,
3.
you said it was each. Rather than say the 3 packs and the $6.
Oh, well, I had said it. I didn't write it, but I had said it. $6 each. All right. So now that you know it's $6 each. So what are you going to do?
It's $6 each. Miss,
Based
when
on what you've done already, what do you do now?
Miss will multiply the 3 times is $3.06.
So this needs to be multiplied by 3, and this also needs to be multiplied by 3, don't it?
It's
So it's 660 times 3, and the 935 times 3.
It's times 3. Miss, that's $28.50.
So what's the next step?
Miss, we're going to then add them.
So now we need to add those two. So the $19.80 plus $28.05.
Okay, Miss, that is $47.85.
Right, so $47.85. Is there another way you would have worked it if you had known that it was each
Miss
from the
will
beginning?
multiply. Miss will multiply.
You'd
Then
have
by
multiplied first.
yes.
So you'd
Then
have multiplied the 3 times the $6
yes,
and the 3 times the 850.
yes.
And then what would you do?
Yes, and then we find the GCT 10%. Then we add
So
it.
you could add them first and just find the GCT one time, right?
Yes,
Rather than two separate times.
yes.
All right, Asar, Asar, you go into a store and you buy a shirt for $525. That's for one shirt. And you buy a pair of pants for $830. Sorry, you buy it's $830 each, and you buy two pairs of pants. So one pair of pants is for $830, and you buy two pairs, and you buy one shirt. And the tax is a 15% tax. So calculate for me, Asar, how much you would end up paying. Asar? Imani, take that one for me. Asar isn't responding.
Okay, Miss. So 50% of the first shirt would be 500 and wait, 50, sorry,
You
tax.
can work the costs, all the costs, and then just make one thing and find the percent tax, rather than finding the tax separately.
So we're going to multiply the 830 by 2, and then
Alright, so it's two pairs of pants, so it's the 830 times 2.
and that would be 200236, and 2 times 8 is 16, so 1660. And we can add the 525 to that.
So the 525.
So 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 6 is 8, 5 plus 6 is 11, put down the 1, carry the 1, and that would be 2,185. And now we're going to find 15% of that. And that would give us 372.75. Sorry, 327.75.
0.75.
Yes, miss. So now, since it's tax, we're going to add it back to the 2,185.
So the tax is added, so 327.75.
So now that would be $2,512.75.
Alright, so it's one shirt, two pairs of pants. So that's why we multiplied the 830 by 2 pairs of pants. Add it to the one shirt. Find the 15% tax, and then add the tax to the cost of the items. All right. So let's look at there is a situation, or maybe we can do that as a different class, where we can do when the tax is already added and they want the original. We can do that for a different class.
Yes, miss.
I want you to remind me to do that for next class, Imani. How
Okay,
to work
miss.
out
So next
either
week.
when the tax is already added or the discount is already taken out and we want the original cost price of selling.
Okay,
Remind me
miss.
to do that. All right, because we're already doing 2 topics in this one video. I don't want to complicate things.
Okay,
All right,
miss.
let me see if Asar is back on. Can you hear me now, Asar?
Yes, miss.
All right. So is there any question on the tax?
No, miss.
All right, so you understand clearly, right?
Yes, miss.
So
Yes,
you go to
miss.
the point of sale or to the retailer, the supermarket, the restaurant, whatever, and the tax means you're going to end up paying more than the marked price. So don't be caught off guard. Don't go there with exact amount and think that you're going to get away. You're going to end up paying extra, right? Sometimes it can be really overwhelming because, especially if you buy a lot of items, by the time you look, the cost, the tax has gone into thousands of dollars. Depending on how many items you buy. So don't be caught off guard. Be able to make an estimate, a good estimate in your head. So, for example, if it's a 10% tax, you know that just move one decimal point to the left, which will give you a good eye. So, for example, the 1,500, just divide it by 10. 10% is 1/10. So you know the tax will be 150. So you can round it off in your head. And then if it's 15%, the 15 would be 10 plus half of 10. So it will be half of the 150, which is 75. So 150 plus 75. Those kind of calculations you can do in your head just to round things off, so you're not caught completely off guard when you get up to the cashier and then you end up embarrassing yourself because you don't have enough money. So let's go on then to the discount. All right. So let's say there's a store having a clearance sale, which they often have depending on the time of year, whether it's a pre-Christmas sale, a summer clearance sale, or sometimes they're going out of business. They're closing down and they decide to let things off at a very, very cheap price. Let's say there's a 30%. And when it gets into these percents, you'll see them say, it's a madness, it's a crazy sale, that kind of thing. 30% off, 50% off, slashing the prices. Those are the kinds of terms they will use to try to lure you in to say, wow, so much is taken off. Because most persons love to get discounts. I would say everybody love to get a discount, right? And it is often said that what the retailers do is they might increase the prices first and then they offer the sale, to make you feel like you're getting a much reduced price when it's not necessarily that case. All right, so this store is having a 30% off clearance sale. And so Asar, this one is yours because you missed the one for you a while ago. Can you hear me now still?
Yes, miss.
All right, so you're buying 3 items, Asar. So let's say you're buying you're buying a vase. You're buying a vase for $50. And you're buying set of knives. You're buying a set of knives for $230, and you're buying, all right, so you're buying 2 towels at $120 each. So $120 for each towel. So it's a vase for $50, and a set of knives. This is a set. $230 for the set. And you're buying 2 towels, $120 each. And you're getting a 30% discount. This is a discount. So Asar, work out for me how much money you would end up paying.
So the vase has a 30% discount. No, 30 over 100 times
No,
50.
they all what I notice you students doing is working out the 30% for each. It's better to just get the total cost and then find the 30%. It's the same thing. Same answer you'd get if you work 30% of each one and add it to it and then get the total, as if you work out the total and just calculate the 30% at once. And that's actually how it's calculated. When you go to the store to buy stuff, they would get you will see, if you look at your receipts, you'll see the total, and then you'll see the tax worked out on the total. So to save yourself some energy, some time, work out this first and then just the big 30% of that total.
So 230 plus 120 plus 50.
All right, so we have the 230 for the knife sets, and what else?
And 50 for the vase, and 120 times 2 for the towels.
So 120 times 2 is what?
240.
So 240 for the towels because it's 2 of them, and that's the price for each. So we add 240. So this gives
12. 520.
all right. So we can just find the 30% of the 520. So tell me now.
No, 30 over 100 times 520.
So 30% of 520, and that gives that 0 cancel that 1, that 0 cancel that 1. So 3 2s 6, 3 5s 15. So this is the tax. This is the extra money that you're going to be paying. So what's the total price you're going to be paying?
So it would be 520
So that's
minus.
520. Oh, sorry, this is the discount. I said tax, right? It's a discount. So you're correct. It's minus 156. All right, so what would this give?
4 6 3.
Okay,
364.
364. All right. Okay, John. So, two persons going to a bookshop, right, John? Two persons going to a bookshop. One is a teacher and one is not. And the bookshop is offering a 25% discount to teachers for that day. Okay. Now the two persons buy the same books. They're friends and they went in there for the same items. They bought the same kinds and amount of items and it came up to $3,400, right? All right. Now, the 25% is the discount. 25% is the discount. There is a tax. There is a tax of 10%. Uh-oh. There is a tax of 10% that must be calculated, right? So they both have to pay the tax, but only the teacher will get the discount, right, John? They both have to pay the 10% tax, but the teacher will get the discount. So they're going to work out the discount first and then calculate the tax for the teacher. So I want you to tell me how much each person will end up paying, the teacher and the friend. So work out the teacher's amount first.
Okay.
They are going to work the discount first and then the tax.
Okay.
All right. So for the teacher, what will the teacher pay?
The teacher will be 25 or 100 times 2,400.
All right. So we're going to find the 25% discount. So 25 over 100 times the 3,4, and that gives
That gives 34. Okay, it's 34 times 25.
25% is what fraction?
It's a quarter.
So a quarter of 3,4. 3,4 divided by 4.
It's like this 34.
3,004 divided by 4. 25% is a quarter. So I'm saying divide the 3,004 by 4.
That's 850.
So that's the discount. So what do we do now?
It's just subtract 850 from the 3,400.
So 3,400 minus 850.
It's that's 2,550.
Speak up, John.
It's 2,550.
All right. And what else?
Okay, it's will then find the tax.
Okay.
Tables and the tax should be 10 over 100 times 2,400.
So 10 over 100 times 2,550 gives what?
Um, I never expected that.
Huh?
Miss, I was saying I never expected that.
Remember, 10% is 1/10.
Yes, so it's
So
that.
to divide something by 10, it just move one decimal place.
Yes,
So that will be 255, right?
yes,
So what's the last thing we need to do?
yes, we'll add it back to the 2,550. And
Plus,
that's
that gives
it's that gives
5.
2,805.
So this is what the teacher pays, 2,805.
Yes,
Or what does the friend pay?
the friend of this.
Yeah. They bought the same thing. The friend isn't getting any discount. She's not a teacher.
And she's getting tax.
She has to pay the taxes.
Yes,
So
makes her friend got. It's what the friend get the same amount of money that the other person gets.
No, because the teacher gets a discount.
No, the tax.
Or the tax.
10% tax.
This will show this 282. Get a friend's
Hmm?
It's 2 so. You should have.
John, this is the price of the books. The friend bought the same number of books as the teacher. 3,000 for the books came to. The friend does not get the discount. The friend has to pay the tax. So what are we to do?
You should be 10 over 100 times 2,500.
So 10 over 100 times.
3,000.
John, you sound like you're there down on mobile. You sound like you're there far away talking.
Okay, you start the big
Alright, so
300.
this is the tax. What next?
It's 3,400 plus 340. That's 3,740.
Alright, so the friend pays $3,740
Dollars. And the teacher
and the
pays.
teacher pays 2,805. What's the difference? Let's work out the difference in prices. Let me show you that it's the teacher. So the difference, how do we find the difference?
Then we're going to subtract the amount of money that the teacher got. The amount
Alright,
of
so
the
the
teacher
friend paid 3,740. The teacher paid,
um, it, it's a, okay.
so what's the difference there? 5, 3, 935.
Yes, yes, miss.
So it pays to be teacher. Huh?
This one, is that how much money the teacher is paying?
Hmm?
That's just the difference between the
No,
prices
but
to
That's the difference. That's how much the friend would have saved if she had become a teacher.
Miss, I was talking about Miss because Miss I was did get 2,805. Miss is because we did add it to the tax.
So they took out the discount and then they added the tax for the teacher. They took out the 25% discount. And remember, for the 25%, remember there are two ways you can work it. So instead of finding the 25% of the 3-4 and then subtracting that from the 3-4, we could have just found 75% of the 3-4, which would have given us this. So always remember you have that option. You can find 25% of the thing and take that from the thing, or you can just go straight and find 75% of the thing. Because if you're taking out 25%, that means if you're getting a 25% discount, you're going to actually be paying 75% of the costs, right? Likewise, if you're paying 10% tax, you're really paying 110% of the cost of the item. So rather than find the 10% of it and add it back to it, we could have just gone straight ahead and found 110% of it. You understand that logic?
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yes, miss.
100% of the thing is the full cost of the thing. So if you're paying a tax of 10%, you're actually going to be paying 110% of the item. If it's a discount of 10%, you're actually going to be paying 90% of the item. So just bear in mind you have that option when you're dealing with tax or you're dealing with discount. You can do the 2 steps if you want, or you can take the shortcuts. Because remember, when we're dealing with percentages out of 100. I think the screen is frozen a bit. We're kind of freezing. You're seeing the screen clearly, guys?
No, it's not being shown.
All right, well, that's the end of the class anyway. So I want to thank you guys for being with me as usual. And tomorrow we'll have our formula class and also our midnight oil class. Yes. So, Thursdays are very special around here.
Yes, miss.
And Imani, I want you to write down what I asked you to remind me of here for next class. How to work out
If it was supposed to be next week Wednesday or just any class next week.
next week Wednesday for this class.
Okay.
So that is if the price that we're given already has the tax included, and we want the original price before the tax,
Yes, miss.
or if it already has the discount taken out and we want the original price before the discount. All right, so thank you guys. Enjoy your rest.
You too,
And I'll
miss.
see you tomorrow.
You too,
Mine,
miss.
Bye, Asara. Bye, Imani. Bye, John.
Bye, Sarah.
bye, man. Bye, John.
All right, guys. So here's our schedule of classes. Remember to write down these dates and times. Hello CSEC math students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now in this series we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything, Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars, did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand.